windows in it. That's when they closed up the two windows that you notice out front.
Now
They
those
decided
were
that,
Were those stained glass windows?
those were windows,
Okay.
but they didn't have the money to do that many, and they said you wouldn't see them from the inside anyway. So they put in the closets and covered them up. And then up in the outside, there's that circle too. Well, that had a wood wheel that said Clark's Chapel, 1879 in the middle. It's in the attic yet. It's 46 inches in diameter, and it had kind of deteriorated at the bottom, and so they filled it in with brick and left it in the attic. The attic hole to get it out is 22 inches.
Oh.
So we have an antique getting antiquier up in the attic.
Up in the attic, but you can't get out.
No, when the boys put on the roof, they said, oh man, if we'd have just known that, we could have, the sheeting was bad on this end back here. And they put new sheeting, but up there, they could have taken a piece off, you know, just to get that out.
Sure.
But they didn't know it was there.
Maybe the next time we put on a roof.
That's right.
To get it out there.
They can get it out. Yeah. But that's when they put the stained glass windows and raised the floor. And that's the main thing that they did.
Yeah, I like that it's not flat, that it's slanted a little bit.
Just
I can
kind of
see it
slanted.
Oh yeah.
Gorgeous.
Makes a huge difference.
It really does. And I see the hole for where the wood stoves, that's where the wood stoves used to be, because it was heated by wood.
Where is it?
See the hole up there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. To go to the...
Yeah, early on. It was heated with wood, I'm sure. Yeah, and then they had a coal furnace down in the basement, and it's all just ground, you know, just dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they went to and they had two of those furnaces, one on each side. Of course, it would really heat up quick, and it was fine, but we're going to keep it a certain temperature all winter. That's what we planned. We did last winter. And keep it at a certain temperature, and then that'll keep our walls better.
Now, what was the temperature? I mean, is it very expensive for the heat bill?
It wasn't last winter, not too bad. I mean, it was like $80, $90 a month sometimes, and then it'd go back down.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so, and now we've got the attic. See, John had to do some more wiring. He wanted to get it good wiring, and he put the new lights on the outside. And so he wanted to get that done before we insulated it. So, and I guess it was well after Christmas is when we got it insulated then. So we've got the attic insulated already. And we've got the termite controlled already.
That's fantastic.
So the main thing now is I wanted to get the restroom in, and I wanted to get the waterproofing on the outside. I talked the guy into doing it all.
Of course
Yeah.
How can he say no to you?
Huh?
How can he say no to you?
I've never met him. He's not met me. We've just talked on the phone, but he put a bid down of $2,800. So I had to call him, and I said, well, you said few places tuck pointed, and then sprayed for weatherproofing, you know, because the back side is all soft brick. They always did that in churches. The back side was soft brick because they couldn't afford all the good brick. And I said, so now, what does that include? He said, well, that includes the back side of weatherproofing. And I said, oh my goodness. I said, you know, what happens to the other side? I said it was all done at the same time, and it was done in the late 80s.
Mhm.
And he said, oh, I guess I could do the whole thing for that. So then we can use his other part as an in-kind thing
Uh-huh.
and put it on a grant that way.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So that'll help too, because we can't do that, you know. That's one thing you can't do. And then we've got a guy that's got some community work supposedly, and he's going to have to get his rear in gear because they wanted to use him on this outside of this building, the wood that's on the outside. Scrape it and paint it.
Okay.
That was done in the late 80s too.
That's
So
good.
it's been a while.
30 years.
Mhm.
20 years.
Yeah. It really has kept up pretty well. That's when they put the wires on the windows too.
Oh, is it? I was wondering.
Yeah, they put that on in 1903. No, they put that on in the 1890s when they thought they had vandalism here. But like I say, that whole ditch out there was growing up. They couldn't tell the church was back here.
Mhm.
Now, you know, one night after Christmas or sometime we'd been out here, and somebody called me and said, well, the lights are on, so somebody better go shut the lights off. And so Larry lives up the road, and I called him, and he said, yeah, I'll go down and turn them off. But they had seen it from the road,
Oh, that's fantastic.
and they didn't see any cars, so they
Well,
knew.
while we were out here, there was a bike that pulled up and came up and tried to see if it was open, and it wasn't, and they just got on their bike and went on. But it looks like people want to stop and look at it. Is this on the Lewis and Clark Trail?
No.
No? Okay.
No, because see, the Lewis and Clark Trail actually, well, goes through Franklin,
Mhm.
and it goes down by the old railroad bridge
Right.
that they're trying to keep, so you can go across the railroad bridge. And then it comes up Old Franklin, and then it goes out of New Franklin on up to the old mill,
Okay.
and it goes that direction.
So where does the name come from? Where does the Clark Chapel come from?
It was a man that would stop his riverboat down the river
Oh, wow.
that saw this hill and wanted to build a church and get it started.
That's awesome.
And the man that owned the land was Monroe, Moonure or something. And he's buried down here at the bottom of the hill. First one that was buried down there.
Wow.
And the land right in between that you don't have any stones on, they think that's full of slaves.
Wow.
That was always told to everybody that, you know. So.
Wow.
I
That's
don't know how
incredible.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. So. I don't know. Of course, see Franklin just being down where it is, you know, is close to here, and it was closer to the river. The old Snotty store was closer to the river than it is right now.
And didn't the river shift a little bit?
Yeah.
Wasn't the river closer
It
to
was
this
closer,
church?
yeah, it was closer in. That bread and breakfast down there at the bridge,
Scene.
the river scene. See, they have that man, he was a captain of a boat, and he always pulled it up and docked right in front of his house where the road is now that goes in,
Mhm.
and the river's way back off.
I'll have to take you guys down and show it to you.
Yeah, it's rather neat.
Are you ready to go? I think Jay, we had the minister today. Did you like the minister?
Yes,
Did you?
very much.
He is a friend that came in from South Carolina.
Really.
I thought he did a great job. He's going back tomorrow at 8, but we're trying to put his flight back a couple hours, so we need to get there and try to rearrange.
I left my phone in the car
Oh, did you?
when we went to the ball game. And I thought, well, maybe she's tried to call. And then when I got in, of course, I get the recording on yours, and I went, oh. I said, well, Paul, let's go to the bathroom and, and let's head on out.